Hi there, this is the second of our Hope in God mini video series, which is aiming to help you hope in God through difficult times. Now, I don't know what your kitchen's looking like right now, but we today we got down to our last slice of bread, and the shops haven't got any bread, and so it's you get used to living in a very different way, don't you? Now we got food in the fridge. We're not going to starve. We've got food in the cupboards. We could probably live off for a month quite happily. But it's an interesting time, and it's a time where you start to ask different questions to the questions we might have asked a month ago. You get used to living in a different way to how we would have lived a month ago, and to think, well, we better eat sparingly, or how long is this going to last, and all these different questions that you just wouldn't have had, and where are we going to get the stuff that we need from, and how's it going to come, and all those sort of issues. And here's the really interesting thing. It actually brings us much closer to a first century way of thinking. So for us as Christians, it brings us much closer to a Bible world than the world we live in today. Those questions, will we have enough food, bring us much closer to a daily kind of reliance on God that God's people in the first century had kind of instinctively. I mean, we just don't have that. As Christians in the 21st century, we're pretty self-reliant. And when we're not self-reliant, we're Tesco reliant, or Asda reliant, or whatever it is. We kind of know there's food out there. We're going to get it. We're okay. In this day, we just can't take that for granted, and it brings us much closer to the way the disciples, the apostles, the early Christians might have thought, wondering day by day, where's our next food going to come from? How are we going to eat tonight? And so I just want to encourage you that in these days ahead, we get to pray in a whole different way. We get to grow in a kind of faith that is different to the faith that we might have had beforehand. It's interesting. I don't know how many times you've prayed the Lord's Prayer in your life. Probably quite a lot, I would guess. Give us this day our daily bread. But how many of us have actually prayed that line with any seriousness at all? Give us this day our daily bread. And it just rolls off the tongue, and maybe you've never prayed that about food before. Maybe you've just kind of ignored that line. And yet through these times, we're getting a taste of what that prayer really means. God, we depend on you for everything. And so through these difficult times, maybe God will sow new seeds of faith in you, new seeds of reliance, new seeds of trust, just day by day, to build and increase your faith, to say, Lord, I need you more than the food I eat, more than all I drink. You are my soul's desire and my delight. So I want to encourage you today to pray that prayer with a whole new worldview. Lord, give us this day our daily bread. We are dependent on you for everything. Makes you grateful, doesn't it? I think in a month ago, everything we could just take for granted. Everything we just kind of consumed and took regardless. Now we're starting to see everything we have is a precious, precious gift from God. So there you go. God bless you as you grow in praying, Lord, give me this day my daily bread, as you grow in daily dependence and reliance on him. God bless you. See you soon.